All right, so I am going live. This is just kind of a pre-flight thing. If you can see and or hear me, actually both, if you could go ahead and enter in the comments that it is all good. And I've got this countdown timer right here. When that reaches 0, we are officially live, but I just wanted to use this as a kind of a pre-flight to make sure it's working properly. And let's just see what's going on. It looks like we already have some comments coming in. You can hear me perfect. That's awesome. And does the video look okay? All good. Perfect. I'm using a new software. I've actually used it a few times. It'll allow me to easily go live on Facebook, but there's also a feature where I can go live on YouTube, but it's a little different. It's not as, oh, there we go. Amy is in the house here. Actually, let me go into the comments here. Amy, you're actually my inspiration. Amy left a comment here, and she's been live streaming. I've seen some of her live streaming. She's kind of a live streaming, becoming the live streaming pro for me, and giving lots of advice. So, oops, I don't have my timer right here where I'm showing the comments. So thanks for joining me today. I love live because, well, there's pros and cons, right? I can tend to not have the best filter with things, so you get the true authentic me. There's no editing, right? So that's actually one of the things I'm working on is making sure I'm conscious of all the things I'm saying. But two, it's a real easy way to just get some quick information out there and cover some quick topics. And there's a few topics I wanted to cover, but I've been practicing. This isn't my first live. It's just my first live on YouTube. I have been practicing on Facebook. And if you're not part of the Facebook group, I'd encourage you to just go to Facebook and do a search for WP Crafter, and you will find the Facebook group and join it. I've been going live there daily, and I want to get good at this. So it's good practice. And so this is the first time going live on YouTube. And let's just see what happens here. We have got a lot of people coming in, and it is very encouraging to see you guys. Wow, all the familiar faces. You guys are so... Oh, my timer's down to 0. I got to stick to that. So eventually I'll get smoother at all of this stuff. Let me get rid of that countdown timer. But I do want to welcome you to the very first live streaming show here for the WP Crafter YouTube channel. And I've got your comments. I'm going to be able to put your comments on the screen like this. Eventually I'll get better at that. I'm able to do the screen share like you're used to seeing with me in the bubble. And some things are different, and as you saw, I'm also able to do that intro, which is really cool. So what I wanted to do in this live stream is just talk about the topics you saw in the title. Wanted to quickly talk about the iThemes suite of products. You may or may not be familiar with or aware that the company sold, and that can sometimes be very good and sometimes very bad. So I wanted to talk about that briefly. Also talk about some updates coming to the page builders we like, Elementor and Beaver Builder, as it relates to Gutenberg, and I'll take some questions on that as well. And lastly, I wanted to share this story. I actually shared it in the live stream yesterday in the Facebook group. It was this story about this tool called Awario, and how what it does is it alerts you based upon certain phrases. And so I have it monitoring anything with the phrase WP Crafter. I want to share a story where it alerted me to someone that was using that on Fiverr to trick people into thinking I was offering Fiverr gigs, and how it alerted me. I wouldn't have known otherwise. And I'll tell you what happened in that scenario or that situation to resolve it. So before I get into it, I'm going to have some alkaline water here. This is that trendy water where it's supposed to raise your pH. My wife loves this water, and I usually don't drink it. I drink it off the tap because these bottles are like $1. But if my wife wants it, she gets it, and that's perfectly fine. And with that, I also have to say Happy Valentine's Day to any of you guys in a relationship or a marriage or something like that. I know today's Valentine's Day, and I appreciate you taking your time to spend with me on the channel today. For me and my wife, just a little background info on me. I've been married for 15 years. I got a great relationship with my wife, and we're pretty chill when it comes to Valentine's Day. A card, I have to get her chocolate-covered strawberries, but the challenge with it is she only likes white chocolate or milk chocolate in every single place. Their chocolate-covered strawberries are dark chocolate. So it's a bit of a mission. And thank goodness I have a son. So me and him last night, we went out and we hunted down some chocolate-covered strawberries that were milk chocolate. And we finally found it. It was quite the challenge. We had to go to a few places, but that's okay. So let me just take a sip of water here, and we'll jump on into the things we're going to discuss. And I'm going to take questions that you guys are entering in here. Sherry's Berries is good. You guys have some great comments coming on here. I should actually have this rolling while I'm sitting here talking. I can show these on the screen. So, yes, Sherry's Berries. My mom actually sends Sherry's Berries stuff all the time to my house for my son. He likes chocolate-covered Oreo cookies. And so we just keep getting these things from my mom all the time. But, yes. All right, so let's get into it. Okay, iThemes. iThemes, if you're familiar with the content on the channel, last year I did some videos on security, and one of the products, I use it, I still use it to this day, of course, is iThemes Security. And iThemes also makes other products. They make a backup product. They have a software as a service type of platform for managing multiple websites. They also have a WooCommerce product. Let me pull up their website right here and see if so they have a whole bunch of things. So you may or may not be familiar or aware, but iThemes recently was sold to a web hosting company called Liquid Web. Now, I think they mostly purchased it not for their WordPress products. They mostly purchased it for, actually here, let me get the comments on the screen here. They mostly purchased it, I believe, well, they say the team, but I think it's this software as a service for managing all your websites. Now, here's the thing. They're doing some real funny things ever since it was purchased. So I think it was late last week. They, when I actually made those security videos, they had lifetime plan options, and they got rid of those last year. And that's okay. If you sell a product and you can get a lifetime license and then you stop selling it, I totally get that. You probably shouldn't be selling these lifetime licenses anyway, or for a very high price. So they removed that. That's cool. But last week, what they did, without notifying any of their customers in advance and without grandfathering them in, they removed all the renewal discounts. So, when you go to purchase a product and say it's $100 and they say you get a 40% off renewal discount, you expect to get that. You expect that to be kind of what you're agreed upon, and that's what you kind of factor in to choosing to use that product or that service, and they eliminated it. Now, early last year, WooCommerce did the same thing. Every WooCommerce add-on or extension, they removed all of the renewal discounts without notification, and it actually caused a bit of an uproar, a lot of upset people. And now iThemes has done the same exact thing by removing that. And they're also doing some really weird things to try to get people to give up their lifetime license. So they recently sent out an email. And if I go to their blog, they have, actually, I think they have it here on their blog. You can read it. I'm not trying to trash iThemes, but I'm going somewhere with this. Okay, here we go. We've got their blog. So they got this weird thing where they're trying to get people to sign up to this toolkit service deal of theirs, and this is to get this high flyer weird conference call thing going on. And in doing that, you would lose whatever lifetime license that you have. So, I mean, there's just some really odd things happening. I'm not saying shady. Shady's not like a good word to say, but they're just kind of odd things that are going on with iThemes. And I didn't really think anything of it until one of the guys on the channel, Mike, he reached out to me on Facebook yesterday and he pointed me to this. This is a support ticket he put in on iThemes security. And essentially what happened was 2 days ago, iThemes security, the free version, or the paid version as well. I don't actually upgrade iThemes security, the paid version, when the updates come out. I usually get to that and do it manually a few days later. But check this out. This update, when Mike updated, actually, a lot of you guys are familiar with Mike. If you're in the Elementor Facebook group, he's the guy that started the Elementor Facebook group, and the very first post is his. He has a guitar e-commerce store. Anyways, he updated the iThemes security and it totally wiped out what's called the WP config file. And that's the most crucial file for your entire website. That's what links all the files to the database. It completely blanked all that information out and basically took his website down. Luckily, he had a backup and he was able to get that info back from the backup. But if you didn't even have a backup of that file, it would be a pain in the butt because that's where your database username, your database password, and all this interconnecting goes on. Totally wiped it out. And so here's him talking about it, and he got it resolved through restoring a backup. And it could be an isolated thing that this happened to him, but it just kind of got me thinking and kind of left a lingering thought if iThemes is now kind of going to go down the tubes, because this does happen. I see companies changing hands and the buyer only wants a portion of the company and they could care less about everything else. And then they'll either sell everything else off or they'll just let it die out. Now, I've never really liked iThemes Backup Buddy product. I've never had a good experience with that, but a lot of people have, and they have their lifetime licenses. But I did want to just make you guys aware that the company did sell, and they're doing these really funny things. So I think I'm going to take a wait and hold type of position with iThemes security and maybe start looking out for a different security plugin. See what else is out there. I know there's WordFence, but I really want a plugin that will not slow down my website, but will also kind of connect me into a hive of other sites. So we're kind of covering each other's back. So if someone tries to hack into site A and it's not related to yours, your site will automatically be protected from that hacker. So actually, before going on to the next topic, I just wanted to take a look here at the comments to see if anyone else has any. Yeah, so there's some of you guys are using iThemes security. iThemes security, in my experience, has not slowed down my website at all. Let's see. Yes. Yeah, Andrew's saying here, oh my gosh, I'm actually getting a phone call. I never get phone calls unless it's like a spam call. That's one of the benefits of working from home and not calling a lot of people. You don't get phone calls. I'm actually getting a phone call. That is so 2000. Anyways, okay, so yes. Someone's saying here, definitely caused by the iTheme update. So did you have that issue with the iThemes update? Gosh, I feel responsible sometimes. If I recommend something and I actually do go through testing of anything that I'm talking about or reviewing and I'm either using it and I've used it for a long period of time, or I've tested it and I've tested it extensively. And so what happens is if I make a video on it and I say, these are some great things I like about this, you might want to consider it, and then something happens, say 6 months later, I feel horrible. And that's probably kind of what's prompting this live stream and me bringing up this topic right here, is because, it's good to talk about these things. And, the reality is that sometimes we might use a particular product, but things might go different with that product as time goes on, and you might need to switch to a different one. So it's certain products, I think, like a security product, it's easy to jump around. It'll be easy to switch from this to something else. So I'm going to read through. Okay, so we got Security Shield is being recommended. You know, there's that other one. It's called SecuPress. It's by one of the guys that was involved with WP Rocket. He's once reached out to me on Twitter. Maybe I should check in with him as well. Thank you for saying that, Amy. Yes, I'm totally not in control what a developer decides to do after I, might have some nice things to say about it and share a good experience. So, all right. Well, I just wanted to get that information up there. I'm going to look at some other security options and see what else might be out there that meet the different requirements. But I just wanted to put this on your radar. The next thing I wanted to talk about was these page builders that we all use. And this is actually fresh news from the Beaver Builder website. It was just released today. I really like what Beaver Builder's doing. They're really trying to step up their content game. They have some new content about every week now on their blog. And also Robbie has been he put out his first video on the Beaver Builder channel, and he actually has a personal channel, and he's putting out some videos on that as well. But basically, this is talking about an update. If you have Beaver Builder, they have this update. It's going to be an alpha version. It's going to be available on your dashboard today, and it's going to come with some interesting things. Most notably, probably, or most obvious feature is going to be inline editing. But right here's their little note on Gutenberg. I might have already scrolled past it. Right here it says, in our next round of updates, they're going to be adding Gutenberg support to Beaver Builder. And they have it all already created and built. They just need to do a little bit of testing, and then they'll probably release it out in an update. And I just want to talk about this because I've seen this question a few times, and the question is regarding one of these page builders, Elementor or Beaver Builder and Gutenberg. And so far, prior to this, Elementor already added their compatibility to Gutenberg. So if you are running Gutenberg on your website and you go to create a new page or a post, you have the option of choosing Gutenberg, Classic Editor, or Elementor. So they've already gone ahead and worked that into Elementor. It's already compatible today, the versions that you have. And it's good to see that Beaver Builder right here is on top. Well, I knew they'd be on top of it, but what I wanted to see is them talking about it. So not only are they on top of it, now they have been talking about it, but they haven't said we're ready to go. They've been saying they've been looking at it, but now they're saying they're ready to go. And what's kind of weird is with Divi, I haven't heard them post anything about Divi as it relates to Gutenberg. Of course, they're going to make it work and all, but these things should be talked about, I think. So, anyways, just want to let you know, so your page builder is Gutenberg ready, and I really wouldn't be afraid of Gutenberg and how it's going to affect you and the choices you make today. We're really not going to see the effects of Gutenberg until 2019 when WordPress is changed so that you can use Gutenberg to build your entire website headers and footers. That's when some interesting things are going to be seen, and we'll kind of see how the dust settles. So if you're using Elementor or Beaver Builder or Divi, you're going to be fine. You're definitely going to be fine. So that is that. And actually, while we're talking about it, let me show you how to get in the Facebook group. If you're on my website, I actually just added this the other day. I should put some social icons here. But if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, I have these icons here. And when you hover over it, it says subscribe to YouTube, join the Facebook group. And this is what you would click on. It'll take you over to Facebook and ask for access, and I'll get you in. I'll probably be going live more often on Facebook because this app works better with Facebook. It has a real neat feature where if you're leaving a comment, I can bring the comment on the screen. So that's why I'll most likely be doing this more on Facebook. So let's take a quick look at the comments here, and then we can move on to this really interesting story. I actually told it yesterday in a Facebook Live, and it's real fun behind the scenes thing. And I actually have an update on it today for anyone that might have watched it yesterday. All right. So we're seeing here some people getting security. Let's see. I'm doing security. So Russell's saying I'm doing security via Good Hosting, Flywheel, and Cloudflare. I will say though that I think that combo of just a good host, and Flywheel is a good host, and Cloudflare is really good too. But that doesn't really give you, I mean, actually, I don't know. Is Flywheel providing brute force protection? I'd be impressed if they did. What brute force protection is someone hits your login form and they hit it over and over and over and over again, and there's no limitation on how many times they can attempt to log in. I haven't experienced a host that blocks that. I know Emotion Hosting does have some proactive things that they do to monitor that stuff, and they'll actually slow down requests, but it's not something that's actually installed on your website. But there's other things too, other vulnerabilities that are just native to WordPress as well, that having a specialized security plugin will definitely help with. Let's see, Security Shield. All right, here, VaultPress. Isn't VaultPress, Menace Man TV saying, I love VaultPress. Isn't VaultPress backup? I think it's just backup. Let's see. All right. Okay, yeah, Liam's got a great point here saying, wouldn't it be cool if a theme could incorporate a security security feature? I totally agree. Let's see here. So, I'm going to have a tough time with names, so just bear with me. Yarhastud, I can see you. I tried to live stream on Sunday and it didn't work. Really look to be in this. Oh, you tried the live stream. I'm thinking, okay, you know, actually I might reveal how I'm budget live streaming. I'd like to do higher quality live streams in the future. This is kind of budget live streaming. But I'd love to share how I'm doing it in our group. Amy's really the expert in our group of live streaming. So maybe we can get her to put something together. Let's see. Okay. Yes, Liam, you're using Beaver Builder, and you know they're on top of it. I really like what I'm seeing. There's also some other updates in the Beaver Builder update that are really neat. You can have global columns now. That is very unique. I'm glad they did that. Emily Reynolds is saying, oh no, that's not Emily. It's Emil. If I'm pronouncing your name wrong, I'm very sorry. Just you guys will learn I'm the master at pronouncing things wrong and saying the wrong words sometimes. Some of you might remember when I made a review video of Short Pixel and I kept saying Short Pickle in the video. It was actually probably the most memorable thing of the video, more memorable than the product for sure. Okay, so you're saying though that Divi is worrying you, and yes, Divi is innovating a lot. Now, I will tell you that a lot of these updates that Divi's putting out on a weekly basis, they have had in the pipeline for the last 8 or 9 months. They've just been drip feeding them out in a schedule, which is really good. But I would like them at least to address this whole concept. Divi is doing some really neat things for sure. Yeah, Mike here is commenting. He's the one that was the one I kept saying that had this opened up that iThemes security ticket. And yeah, Mike, I read your Facebook comment to me or message to me. I felt really bad that happened to you. I'm glad you had a backup. So, you know, even if something might go wrong, if you just have the backup, you're going to be covered. Okay. Do you think that Gutenberg is going to be at launch with WordPress.com first? I would like them to do that, but I bet you they're not going to launch it on WordPress.com, because think about it. They can launch Gutenberg to the self-hosted WordPress, right? And, you know, we can have trouble, and who do we have to complain to? We're not paying money to WordPress. But then WordPress.com, if they launch it there and people have problems and that are actually paying money, I just bet they're going to be a little bit more cautious with that. My guess would be that they do that very slowly and very strategically because they don't want to blow up how they get their revenue. Okay, so we got Jamie here. Any news on Elementor's upcoming theme? It's actually not a theme, it's a theme builder. And last I heard, it's supposed to come out early next month. I'm sure that's going to be something that will probably have to come out in beta first. But I've been meaning to reach out to Ben and ask Ben from Elementor what the update is and if I can get my hands on it first. Let's see. Cybersecurity, Cloudways. Cloudways is actually really good. Cloudways is really good. Okay, Tyler Willard, you're asking what is the best theme for Lifter LMS and will Gutenberg cause problems? If you're using Lifter LMS, take a look at my recent video on the integration that Astra added to it. And for those of you that aren't interested in Lifter LMS and you prefer LearnDash, the work has already begun to bring those same integration and feature to LearnDash. And I will be having some videos out on LearnDash. As a matter of fact, I sent an email I was talking to the guy Justin from LearnDash last week about LearnDash. And just today I emailed Chris from Lifter LMS, and I asked Chris if he can send me access to all of his plugins for Lifter LMS. I have some of the basic ones, the payment gateways. I don't have the more advanced ones for quizzes. I asked him for access to that. Normally, everything I review, I buy myself, but this one is a little pricey. If I was going to review it, I wanted to get access to it for free. So anyways, just to answer your question, take a look at Astra. I'm not just saying go Astra, go Astra. I'm saying that's the only theme that really has an integration with Lifter LMS to make it really easy. You can use any theme with Lifter LMS. It's just that Astra is going to make it easy for styling it. If you don't use Astra, it's all custom CSS. And, that can be a bit much, especially when you are trying out. Thank you, Mike, for not holding me responsible. I feel responsible at times, but it's just my nature to feel responsible for things like that. So, Thomas Wilson, hey, Adam, try Securi, great software. Yes, I do need to try that out, but isn't the free version of Securi kind of real light, meaning it's really more having the subscription with it? I should test that out. Okay. All right. Oh, Amy. So Amy, and it's okay to have this transparent conversation. In the past, I've traditionally talked about Lifter LMS, but there's also LearnDash, and they're two learning management systems, and they kind of have different directions. They're kind of subtle. Now, if you would have said last summer, or when I had my last Lifter LMS video series, it was in March of last year. I remember I was releasing it when I was in Hawaii on vacation. It's nice to have in-laws that like to take you places like that. Anyways, it was a great Hawaii trip. I didn't pay for anything but the rental car. But actually it's good because my mother-in-law works for the airlines and we didn't have to pay to fly, reduced hotel rate. Anyways, if you would have asked me 12 months ago or last year in March, Lifter LMS or LearnDash had issues. It was very clunky, very difficult to work with, but they pushed out a lot of updates last year. They brought a course builder and they have some really innovative features like this video progression feature. That's very neat. They also added this feature a few months ago where you can see all of your lessons in a list and build courses off of existing lessons. They call it micro courses. So after they released the course builder, then in my mind, it became a contender because prior to that, it was a disaster. And you might not know this, but I initially started with LearnDash 3 years ago, and then I switched to Lifter LMS. So yes, Astra is going to have LearnDash compatibility. LearnDash is really, really impressing me. And I will have a review and a tutorial on LearnDash separate from Astra and then with Astra. All of that is going to come. So now let me get to my funny story of Awario. Now, I did a review of this product called Awario maybe, 2 weeks ago. And essentially what it is, actually, it's an AppSumo deal. Well, it's on AppSumo right now. This I actually posted a review yesterday, SocialBee. If you've been looking for a tool that does evergreen social media content posting, check out that video. This is a deal. If you're familiar, if you ever heard of Meet Edgar, it's $50 a month. This is like better than Meet Edgar, and it's a $50 lifetime license. If you want to check this out, WPCrafter/SocialBee. Check out the review though. That would be good. But this was Awario, and this probably might have another week life. Might be around for another week here on AppSumo. Now it's $50. I have the $99 plan. It just increases some of the limits. Now let me just explain what this does if you didn't check out the video. What it does is it scours the internet and some social media platforms for keyword phrases. So you can do this to track brand mentions. So an example of that for me would be if anyone uses the phrase WP Crafter or anyone uses Adam Prizer. This can also be used as a lead generation tool, right? So you can do searches for people. Does anyone know a good web designer? You know, that specific phrase. And so you'll be notified, and then you can just jump in on the conversation, whether it's on the internet, on a user forum, whether it's on Twitter, whether it's on a public facing portion of Facebook. This is Awario, and it's really good. It's $50 or $99 a one-time fee. Let me show you how I have it back here. So this is my Awario dashboard, and I have these alerts set up. So I have alerts right here on my competitors, so I can just kind of keep track of what they're doing and see what they're doing and see who's maybe making some, giving them links or giving them tweets or anything along those lines. I want to keep tabs on my competition. You should do that too. You should keep tabs on your competition and see what they're up to. And I'm using it for that. But I'm also using it for brand mentions for WP Crafter. Now, I also have Google Alerts. Google Alerts, you can go and tell Google to alert you when it finds a new piece of content with a certain phrase. I don't know if that thing even works anymore, to be honest. It used to be okay, but I haven't gotten an alert on WP Crafter in maybe like 2 or 3 years. I don't think Google Alerts works at all anymore, pretty much. So anyways, enters in Awario. Now, your reputation, your business's reputation, if you have clients for them, their own reputation on the internet is everything. It's everything. And so you've got to kind of keep your eyes on things, but we're all busy, right? We all have lives. We all have businesses. We all have families. How the heck are you going to, you're going to be doing searches? It's not even possible to find these things. I don't even think it's humanly possible. You need a machine doing it for you. Enter in Awario. And there's actually a couple things like Awario that are out there. I think one's called Brand Mentions or something like that. There's a few of them. And if anyone uses an alternative one, feel free to put it in the comment section so everyone can see. And I'm going to hit the comment section after this. Anyways, so this will send me a daily email when it finds this. So I get a daily email, and this was Monday. I got on Monday, I logged in here, but I think I must have gotten this alert earlier and I didn't pay attention to it. You don't have to pay attention to the email alerts, or you can just log in here and start scrolling up and down. So if you see right here, I have all these references to WP Crafter, and a lot of this stuff I already know about. But so for example, here's a tweet. These are the people that made the Jet blog for Elementor, and they were just tweeting a link to my video, which was nice. I can see when people are stealing my content, and there's a couple of those in here as well. Simple DMCA takedown request will solve that. But then I scrolled down, and I saw this right here. I don't even know where it is. Oh, there it is. I saw this. So this actually happened 14 days ago. So I noticed it when it was 11 days ago. And it's a tweet from this person. Actually, let me see if I click on this, if it'll take me to Twitter. Actually, let's see. If I click here, it just shows me here. Okay, so it shows me here. It's neat. If people are tweeting, I can respond to their tweets right here or whatever. And it's a tweet on this guy's Twitter account right here. It says, check it out. WP Crafter will create WordPress website design or WordPress for $5 on Fiverr. So I saw this and I'm like, oh man, I don't like this at all. I don't want someone deceiving someone. Anyways, so what I did is I clicked on the link. It took me over to Fiverr. He created a Fiverr user account with the name WP Crafter and had all these WordPress gigs. And so what I did, and actually, this is what I still have access to some of it. So first what I did is I went on Fiverr and I sent the guy a message. And this was my message. Now, unfortunately, his response, was so laced with profanity that, Fiverr removed it somehow automatically or whatever, removed it today. So I can't, repeat his response, but I just said, my name's Adam and I'm better known for my website, WP Crafter. My name, WP Crafter, is trademarked. Well, technically it's going through the trademark process. I am giving you 48 hours to have your name changed and all references to WP Crafter changed before I contact Fiverr. So I was trying to be nice. I'm like, I don't want your account getting banned. I don't want to do any harm to you or anything like that, but you can't do this. You can't use the WP Crafter name. You just can't do it. I've been using it since 2014. You can't do it. And part of having a trademark is you have to protect that trademark. You have to respond as someone reasonably would respond. I'm not an attorney. I'm not a trademark attorney. This is no legal advice in here, but if you have a trademark and you are aware of someone that you believe is infringing on that trademark, you have to act as someone reasonably would in that situation, or you lose the rights to your trademark, which means if I find out he's doing this, I have to do something about it. If I don't do something about it, I lose my rights to WP Crafter. That's just kind of the loose kind of way that works. Not an attorney. Anyways, he responded to me yesterday. It was like, F this and F that and all that. I keep a PG-13 around here, guys. So I can't even read what he wrote. But if you saw this live stream yesterday in the Facebook group, I read exactly what the guy wrote because it was there. And I just responded to the guy after he cursed me out and said all these disgusting things. I just said, fair enough. I'm off to the Fiverr legal department, or off to the Fiverr legal department I go. And then he responded 3 minutes later, says, get out of my way. I don't care. Rubbish. I didn't let this trigger me. Anyways, you can see in the message now at the bottom, it says WP Crafter may not be contacted at this time. So essentially what ended up happening was I sent a message to the Fiverr legal department. There's a whole process, a form you fill out. They finally looked at it early this morning, so they looked at it probably within under 24 hours, which was good, which is what I was expecting. And it's, clear as day, this guy used this name. This isn't just a name people come up with. I don't think someone's sitting there thinking, WP Crafter is a great name. It's such a random name completely. So anyways, I'm happy to report today. So if you saw the live stream last night, I'm happy to report today that Fiverr went ahead and removed his account. So now let me go back to the screen right here. So now when I click on that link, so this would have been a link to the gig. I click on it. It takes me to the Fiverr homepage because the guy's been kicked off. And he might be watching this channel. I doubt he's on the live stream. I mean people no harm. Absolutely mean no harm. But I have to protect the brand, and I can't let people potentially get confused and think someone's me. Now, you wouldn't have thought he was me because the avatar picture had all this really nice hair, something that I physically can't have, but I could wear a wig. So anyways, that is Awario, and I gotta say, just that alone made this deal worth it to me. If you're interested in checking that out, this isn't like an Awario pitch fest or anything, but if you did want to check it out, it's WPCrafter.com/Awario, AWARIO. It's something to think about. It's not like something that's crucial for people to have. There are other applications for it as well, but it is something that saved the day for me. And for me, I'm glad that I have it, and I've always wanted a tool like that where I don't have to do any work. I just set it up, and it's going to go ahead and let me know of everything that goes on. So I don't have to. So, all right. So I'm going to scroll back in some of these comments here and answer any questions. And we'll wrap up this first live stream on YouTube. If you like this, maybe I can get in the habit of doing one every Friday as a wrap up. So maybe I'm releasing video content during the week, and any specific questions you have, you can go ahead and save it for the live stream, maybe something like that. And kind of what I would like to do is slice the live stream up. So if it's like an hour live stream, most people don't have an hour, even though you can watch it at twice the speed. Most people don't have an hour, and that's okay. Maybe try to slice it up into more bite-sized chunks for important questions that you guys might have. All right, so let's see. Oh, Amy, you used LearnDash as well before, so you can understand that LearnDash was fine, but it wasn't like the greatest before. See, there I am. I'm getting good at being nice on the live stream. You get the unfiltered me, so I gotta get better at what I say to say things in a more positive light. Let's see. Yes, Paul's saying he watched the video on building a website with Elementor and Astra, and Elementor looks easier to use. You know, when you look at my website, just for some of you, I'm sure a lot of you already know this, I've been implementing Elementor on my website in anticipation of Elementor version 2, where I can make custom post type layouts. So I added this page as my home page. You can tell it's Elementor because of the way the scrolling word there looks. And this is Elementor, and I have Astra as well. This is using Astra custom layouts where I hooked this in. So this is made in Elementor. This little piece here, it's made in Elementor using the Flipbox module. And then I hooked that in using the custom layouts feature of Astra Pro. Onto that, I do have a video coming out very soon. I'm going to release information on the Facebook group privately, but there's going to be a chance in that video for me to give Astra Pro to 5 people. So I'm going to have kind of like a contest. So I'm going to put this video out, and TubeBuddy, which is a tool I use for YouTube, it can allow people to enter the contest by leaving a comment, and then it can randomly choose the winner. So I'll randomly choose 5 people on that video, but I'll have all the details of that in the Facebook group. So there's going to be I'm going to try to integrate more, asking these people to give me things to give away, in other words. But anyways, yeah, this is Elementor right here. And I recently redid some of my bonus pages. So like here's my Astra bonus page, and this is Elementor right here. And a lot of this is using the Elementor global sections. I love global sections. And this is one of my favorite things. When I hover over the button, I get that tooltip. That's Elementor too. I just really like that. I like that kind of stuff. So let me get back to the questions here. Let's see. Let me scroll back and work my way down. Hopefully I didn't go back. Okay, so there we go. Now I'm getting caught up here. Yes, Carolyn, Elementor is good. Hashim, I'm hoping I'm pronouncing your name properly. I should actually get on the phone with you because I want to make sure I pronounce your name properly, because I see you all the time jumping in on the comments. And I think you recently wrote an article on the Beaver Builder blog, which is really cool. Who's your competition? I actually rather answer that privately. There are some things I'm going to not talk about, but I will talk to you. You can get on Skype with me, and I'll actually tell you on Skype or something like that. And on that note, this live streaming software will allow me to actually bring on guests. So I can bring on a guest, and we can AMA that person, ask me anything, that person. So I'd like to maybe turn this into like a structured official show where I have people come on, but it's not those same boring questions that everyone asks guests on podcasts. You know what I mean? It'll be like real stuff. You know, we want to know the real stuff. Okay. Yes, Italy Made Easy. Thank you very much. And yeah, I've considered taking a look at the WP LMS theme. Okay, Hashim's confirming that Google Alerts has been broken for years, and I wish that thing worked. Okay. Hello. Edward, what's the difference with page builders and paid or free themes? Your page builder is really going to do the heavy lifting these days. It's going to be the tool you use to build everything above the header, below the header, and above the footer. So I've got a ton of content on that. Carolyn is confirming, yes, we all know of him, and he is such a, yes, thanks for, let me just say, you said in your comment there's only one WP Crafter. I'm not making friends. I'm making friends with you guys, which is who I'd rather have as my friends, but I'm not making friends on the other side of the aisle. There's been some product developers that have certainly gotten very upset at me and won't return my emails, won't return my calls, unfortunately, because, I'm trying my best to be as transparent as possible. And, if you've seen any of my reviews, it's not, oh, this is great, this is great, this is great. There's a lot of things that are great, and I will say they're great, but I'm going to find flaws. But there's some products that just aren't great, and I do say that. And I'm willing to say that, and I'm willing to go there. Even if it goes against my own best interests, I'm totally fine with that. Yes, Jerry, thank you for highlighting this type of theft. Yes, there's so much of that going on. That's why I like Awario. It's going to let me know. And if you're a trademark holder, you have to monitor your marks. Let's see. And also, if you're like a software developer, you might want to have it try to find people stealing your software or giving your software out for free. Let's see here. Yes, you love AMAs. I want to do more AMAs like this, and I want to get some people on. You can actually make some suggestions. I know there's a few people that I have in mind that we've talked about having on. And we can hit other content too. It doesn't all have to be WordPress. If we do something that is not WordPress, like maybe it's a search engine optimization, that kind of boils back down into WordPress. We can talk about all kinds of different things and get some really good people on here. But I do have some stuff that I've got planned regarding SEO. All my SEO plans are kind of on hold right now because Yoast is changing their interface. They had an update out yesterday that removed some options, and they had a tweet on their Twitter account saying they're changing the interface to make it more simple and intuitive, which I think is very good. Okay. Let's see here. Yes, Carolyn, I will do my best to answer. I think the interaction of this is really what I'm liking about going live like this, and I do want to answer your questions. It actually helps me, just so you know, when you ask me questions. You guys are always giving me ideas for content and stuff like that, and I definitely want to do that. Amy's suggesting I stream to YouTube too. I think I absolutely will. I think Amy, I need to buy the software you're using, vMix. You got me thinking yesterday. There might be a vMix purchase in my future. Essentially, I'll just let everybody know, the reason I've been streaming live to Facebook is because the software that I have can pull in the comments, and it can be an overlay on the screen. It looks really cool. That's just because I'm only using this software. But there's other ones that I can buy that will allow me on YouTube to go live and then pull in the comment or the question on the screen, which I think there's value to seeing someone's question on the screen. This is kind of a hack job what I'm doing right here, and it doesn't even look perfect, but it'll work for today. I'm one of those people, it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just going to jump in and do it. Okay, we have a question here. We're rebuilding our site with Elementor Page Builder. We use the Astra theme. Good. Do you recommend Elementor Pro versus Astra Pro for the add-on features? They are so different. I think if I only had the money to buy one, I would buy Elementor Pro, and then I would work my way towards purchasing Astra Pro. Let's see. I want to do more live streams like this. This is actually fun. Hey, Adam, what can you say about Podio? I've actually never heard of Podio. I'm not sure what that is. Oh, and just, I have a graphic designer. If you've noticed some of the thumbnails, there's been some improvements. I have been working on some graphics for these live streams, actually inspired by Amy and the folks over at Livestream Pros. Let's see. Okay, like the live stream. Tooltips are excellent for learners. Yes. That tooltip feature in Elementor for the buttons, obviously, you know, there's no secrets here. You guys know why I have these pages right here. And so what was happening is, you know, I'd say purchase in a private or incognito window. No matter how many times I put this here, people don't do it. And so now I know I'm going overkill here, but you know, it's all testing, right? So I say private and incognito one place. Right here is 2 places. Right here is 3 places. Right here is 4 places. And then 5 places, and then in the tooltip. So if someone doesn't understand that I can't give them access to a course if they don't do this, and I've said it 6 times, I mean, I'm just trying my best here to make sure I'm as clear and transparent as possible. Let's see. Okay, let me go back here. I think I've skipped some comments accidentally. I'm just getting used to this. Okay, Tyler Willard, you're actually bringing up a great question. You have Thrive themes, Astra and Elementor. Will that cause problems? So I think when you say Thrive themes, you're talking about Thrive Architect and you have it on your website. You can absolutely have 2 page builders on the same website, just you can't use both on the same page. You could probably figure out a way of doing it. I'm actually using 2 page builders on one page, so I'm violating my own advice. I'm just saying that it's easier if you just only use a 1 page builder on an individual page. I haven't noticed any performance issues on my website. I have Beaver Builder and Elementor running right now. Vigard Bell is asking, is tooltip function integrated in Elementor or is it a separate plugin? Unfortunately, it is a separate plugin. It's Elementor Extras, which I've been using on my website. It's the only add-on plugin so far that I like because they add innovative things like this. I do intend on having a video review on it, and I've actually been working on that plugin, just digging into it, and it's really good. The developer, I think it's shop.namgo or something like that. The developer has been very responsive to me. So now what I try to do, and I think you guys can appreciate this, if I'm using a product and I really think it's good and I like, say, 80% of the things it does and I hate 20% of the things it does, instead of making a video saying I like this 80% and I hate this 20%, instead I take that 20%, I list it out and I send it to the developer and I say, this is what I think of your plugin. I think this is great. I think this is not great. Do you have any interest in improving it before I make a video? And then they can take that and implement those changes if they want. I mean, they can or they don't have to. And so with Elementor Extras, I sent in 3 different requests to them and they immediately resolved those issues, which I really liked. And some of them are like pesky things. So you have to license it. And so, you know, the back end of WordPress where you have your menu on the left, they were taking up one of those main menu locations. I didn't like that at all. They should have had the settings in with the Elementor settings. And so I sent them a message. I'm like, can you move that? And they actually did that within 24 hours to make their plugin better. And I'm glad they did that. So I will have a video out on that. Let's see here. Yeah, so Liam's saying, I just made my first site with Elementor, just so used to Beaver Builder. So a Beaver Builder user and testing out something different. Very cool to see how you redesigned your website almost identical. Yes, you know what? So I'm thinking, oh, why don't I make a whole new website? But that's like a lot of work, right? Because you have to sit there and mentally spend the mental energy to decide how you want your new website to look if you're redesigning it. So I'm going the path of least resistance, and that is just to make what I had before, make it look the same, but just using Elementor. And that's how I'm forward. And it's actually been Elementor Pro is very deep. I've got Elementor and Elementor Pro. The feature set is very deep, so I don't miss Ultimate add-ons for Beaver Builder. But Ultimate add-ons for Elementor is deep in development. And for those of you that are involved with Astra or any of the Brainstorm Force products, I am going to do a live stream in their Facebook group. I'm talking about it to introduce some of these new things that they have coming out. Let's see. Can you ask Elementor to enable add icons aligned with the text. You know what? Get things to work the way that I want. I do want to put together an advanced Elementor video. So I want to get starting with Elementor video and then an advanced. And it's just going to hit these advanced things like using its custom CSS box and various other tricks that I've discovered with Elementor. All right. Okay, so I'm going to reveal the live stream software, but I just need to take a break. When I make a video, this is actually what I do when I'm making my videos that I edit. I'll be talking and say I don't know what the heck I'm going to say next. I freeze, and then I sit there, and I move my eyes, and I think about what I'm going to say, or I get a drink of water like this without moving my head, and then I make sure there's a nice long gap. And then I continue talking, so when I'm editing my video, I can just chop that out, and you guys barely even notice those cuts. But you can't do that when you're live. Okay, the live stream software I'm using, unfortunately, is only a Mac app. It's called eCam Live. It's really innovative. It's very affordable. It's $39, and to have the feature of bringing people in on these live streams, their video and everything, that was an extra $20. So I only have $60 out of my pocket, which is very good. Let's see, but it's only for a Mac, unfortunately. vMix, which is looking like it's the go-to, that's PC only, I believe. And PCs, they have a better reputation with live streams. Yes. Okay, so David, Karen, if you're still on the live chat, because I don't know how behind I am on these questions, you're saying basic Google alerts work for you and you get them daily. I wonder if I don't have mine configured properly, but I tell you, I don't get alerts at all. I have it in on my personal name, and I know people are making content and referring to me on their website. And actually, I don't know if Google's allowed to index Twitter. I think there might be a wall there. But Google Alerts is just not working for me. He's referring to, and I brought it up as well, Awario. Is it just the same thing as Google Alerts? And my experience is that Google Alerts isn't working that well. Yes. A Media Guy Video is saying product devs should appreciate critical feedback to make their products best in class. Absolutely. And a lot of them do. After the anger subsides, they do appreciate it. And what I try to do is encourage them to jump on in the YouTube comments. So if I make a YouTube video and I might say some things about their product that aren't so good, I encourage them to jump on the comment section and respond. And, you know, if I get it wrong, you can say I get it wrong. I got it wrong. Please tell me, and I'll take things like that to heart. I encourage them to hop on the comment section. Some do, most don't. Let's see. Event software, yes. You know what? Okay, highly effective teacher, event software. I'm going to be talking all about events because I'm just waiting on some themes to make it really easy to integrate those event plugins. So I know for a fact Astra's building styling, built-in styling by default in the free theme for event plugins. So that's going to make it really good. Marco, are you using OBS? I should try OBS. I'm not using it. Yes, Attila, sorry if I'm answering or pronouncing your name wrong. My AdamPreiser.com is neglected, isn't it? Yes, it's actually very neglected website. I have another website, AdamPreiser.com, and I've just been all the actions right here at WP Crafter, and I've just let it sit there and languish on, and it's not something I'm proud of at all. But sometimes you just don't have the time or the effort or the energy. You know what I should do? I should hire someone to rebuild AdamPreiser.com for me using Elementor. That's what I should do. Maybe designs by Trey. Actually, Trey's probably not on the live chat, but maybe I should ask him to do it for me. Or Kyle at Ogle Web Design. He's really good as well. Let's see. Okay, and I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing your name. Yeah, I need everyone to like make a wave file of how to pronounce your names because I see your names all the time and I want to get this right. So is it Bavesh? And I'm sorry if I got that wrong and I'm butchering your name. Please keep it that way. Friends with us and not with anyone else. You know, it's true because I'm not making friends with anybody else. I'll tell you that much. I think in some circles I'm definitely blacklisted, for sure, which is okay. I'm fine with that. You know what I mean? And if there's one thing I could hope that you guys see, obviously I make money through maybe an affiliate link and stuff like that. You guys know this. There's no secret. There's a disclosure in every YouTube video. It's all over my website. And I have courses for sale. There's a lot of times I'm going against my own best interest, meaning I can say this thing is the best thing since sliced bread, you better buy it, but I just have too much integrity to recommend something that I know is crap. And I won't do it even if it goes against my own best interest. And I can point to several examples of where I could have said something, but I said the truth instead. And I always say the truth for me. It definitely goes against my best interest. If any of you guys are familiar with my AppSumo reviews, there was a product a month ago that came to AppSumo and I knew this was going to be like a hot seller. And I made a video and I basically said, these are all the reasons I think you shouldn't buy it. And there was video after video saying, oh, it's the most amazing thing. It's the most amazing thing. I knew better. And I think what's going to happen is immediately people started realizing I was right. And then over the next month or 2 months, people are really going to understand that I was right. And I decided to sacrifice maybe making $1 here, $1 there in order to speak the truth on it. Highly effective teacher, yes, interaction. You know, talking about live streams like this is appropriate for this channel because we have a lot of educators on the channel that might want to integrate live video education like this on their channel. Let's see. Yes, eCam on the Mac today. Actually, I'm going to just try to wrap this up. These, you know, I get a little too chatty sometimes, and these can go on a little bit. Yes, I think I'm at the bottom. Google Alerts. So Google Alerts is working for some of you guys. I think that's great. Hey, Marco, I'll just say Marco because I'm going to pronounce last names wrong. What am I using? The webcam? Yes, I am using the Logitech. So I made a video not that long ago showing all my gear. Now, eventually I'm going to buy different gear. But yes, I'm just using the webcam. But I've got some good lights. So you saw in the video, I had a light right above me. But I also turned on today my ring light here, which I haven't used the way I should. So that's why this side is lit up and you see the shadows. But I can remove it. Okay, so now it's turned off, and this is what it would look like without the ring light. Heck, maybe this looks better. And behind me, I got to do something better there. I just have these like Philips Hue lights. I don't know what happened there. I think the live stream might have ended. I don't know if this started a second live stream. If it did, I am sorry. I hope it didn't end. Let's see here. So actually, you know what, guys? I'm going to wrap this up